Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brad. In my hands is The Witch and the Night Will Survive, Volume 1. Really interesting manga. It's story by Dai Chikamoto, art by Gonbe Shinkawa, translation John Thomas Neal, lettering Muhammad Arbash Mughal. Alright, so the story's about this guy named Agredios. They call him Ag. He is the son of the lord of the land. He winds up coming back from a trip and finding everyone in his village dead. It is a mysterious disease or something has wiped out this entire kind of town, including his parents, and his father has left him a rather cryptic message about a witch in the woods. So Ag runs out and goes and attacks the witch. But looks like the witch didn't do it. The witch is innocent, but Ag has kidnapped her and brought her back to the village. And, you know, that's not all that great. So it's interesting. This is a very fascinating first volume. I think it's the first 7 chapters. And it's getting to know the situation and set up, like, kind of what's to come. We meet Ag. There's 2 little girls that are survivors. We have the witch. There's another group of people who are refugees that come by. And then Ag's sister eventually shows up as well. And it all is kind of just the setup for what's to come. So the question is like, there's all these horrible things happening to not just this town, but areas around the town. And the question is why? Like, what is upsetting the area? What is causing the animals to go nuts? What is causing this disease to happen? And that seems to be what this series is going to be about. As well as this kind of like island of misfit toys of characters that have been brought together to, well, I guess rebuild a town. I don't really know how far this is going to go. Overall, I really, really like it. It's kind of, I mean, it's a fantasy series, and you know, I've said many times, like, fantasy's not my favorite genre out there. But it's a pretty solid story. Like, the characters are really likable. I love the fact that Ag is the main character, and he screws up. Like, he kidnaps this girl, this witch, and like the whole time it's him trying to figure out kind of like what's the right thing to do. You know, it's, you know, messed up in the end, and it, you know, hey, I'm sorry, kind of is like what seems to resolve things. But you know, there's something to it. It's a little bit different of like, you know, hey, I'm gonna screw this up, and you're suddenly become my partner in crime as we solve this. Like, no, it plays out. Like, the witch is clearly scared of him, and I think it's really actually interesting is that throughout the issue, throughout the volume, we get to see the witch kind of attempt to have interactions with all these characters, something she's not normally done. So it's a totally new concept to her. So I think in that way, it's a really, really interesting series, a really fascinating series, because it's, for this particular character, a lot plays out with her facial expressions and what she does physically and how she interacts with people. So while these other people are talking and having conversations, you have this character who's really entire mode of interaction is really just her facial expressions, which makes the art really, really important. And speaking of art, like, I really dig it. I think there's something pretty cool, almost old school about it. Like, it's not super flashy, and it reminds me of something. I can't think of what. I mean, it definitely reminds me of like older manga that I've kind of read and seen, and like, I don't quite know how to describe it. It's, you know, it's definitely a fantasy vibe done with, you know, manga art. Yeah, we'll leave it there. But overall, like, I really, really like it. I think it's pretty cool. At the end, there's some character designs. But yeah, this is a cool fantasy series. I like it. I really, really, really do like it. Out now, you can go get it. It is in comic shops. We've got a link beneath this video. Put your zip code. It'll tell you if comic shops are near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we get a small percentage by doing that. You support our site, so thank you for that. Speaking of support, I want to thank Yen Press for hooking us up with the review copy, and of course, thank you all for watching. If you're into manga, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading that manga. Yeah, keep it kiki. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.